Okay guys, good evening. So let me show you what I've done tonight. I'm not leaving Gopher Snoot. Okay, so you'll probably see this white line. It's 200 feet of nylon rope. I ran it from that particular post all the way to this one because this is my property line. So let me stand back here. So this right here is going to be the purple section of the rose garden, as well as that section over by that thicket, which I'm going to take more stuff down. So there's kind of a depression and a rise in that center. I'm not going to level it too much because that's just the way it is. Not to mention, I think having a not so flat topography will look kind of nice. But anyway, I'm going to put the camellias, because I'm going to do a hedge of camellias and magnolias. So this is about 2 feet in. So I'm going to do them about 2 feet in. Now they are going to get about 8 feet tall and wide. But the thing is, where I'm standing right now, this is empty space. I think this is part of the green space for the development. I think they kind of have to leave this empty. So I don't necessarily, I mean, quite frankly, I could probably put it much closer, probably a foot away, and it would be fine, because even if it overhangs, it's not like it's on somebody else's lawn. This space right here is never going to be developed. So I don't feel too bad about putting it very close to the property line. So I guess I could take the purple. I don't know. I'm going to worry about doing this section and over there too. And I think that'll be enough because I want to make sure I have enough space for actually this one is going to be totally purple. That section I might do purple and some pinks. And that way I can keep the section for the oranges, creams, and yellows, kind of. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, there may be some, because the thing is with pinks is that sometimes the oranges have some pinks in it, so we'll see. The section that's where the Munstead roses, I think I'm actually going to do call that like a Valentine section. So I'm going to be doing like deep reds, medium pinks, and whites in there. I think that might look kind of cool. So you know what, we'll see. We shall see. This is going to be work in progress, and I'll be adjusting it as I go. But for right now, I'm going to go get the rest of the stuff out of my back of my car to bring it over here. I'm just going to dump it and then put everything away because I'm losing light. And that way tomorrow morning I can get up and start. But I have a few bricks like right here and over there. And I have another one and over there that I'm using to hold the paper down. And so I've taken this line of the pavers. I've gone up to there. So, and with the 3 I have, it'll probably take me to, around here. So, the pavers that I bought did all of that over there. So you know what, I'm actually, I'm pleased with how this process is going. I'm very pleased. So anyway, you know what, I think I'm gonna actually take the dog in so I don't freak him out with the lawnmower, and then I'll go get the rest of the stuff out to have everything set up for tomorrow. So see you guys in a bit. Who's that little puppy? Who's that little puppy? Are you that little puppy? Good morning, guys. So it's a Saturday before Labor Day, and I'm making my coffee. So the dog is looking at me. He's not altogether crazy about my coffee machine noise, but he's just gonna have to get used to it. So anywho, I'm gonna go outside. I think what I'm gonna do this morning is I'm gonna put the bricks to line the path, line the outline of the edge of the garden, and I'm going to put the roses in place, because since I'm going to Paxton Hill Farm, I may rearrange things based upon what I buy. So I was like, should I start digging? I should not start digging right now. So I'm gonna do it like an initial, this is where I think I would like to place them. And then I'm gonna come in, take a shower, run to Paxson, and then, you know, I'll do that. Because I don't think it's, I mean, I think the garden is a good size, but I don't know. We'll see how big it is, because I've never been there. I mean, I think they said it was a 30-acre garden, but I don't know if well, it's a 30-acre property, but I don't know if the garden is 30 acres. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to it. The temperature outside is pretty chilly. It's 58. They said the low got down to 51 last night. So, unfortunately, I think the temperature is going back up to 90, to the 90s tomorrow. Yeah, it's 92. Oh, it's gonna be 96 on Monday. So, I want to get as much stuff as I can get done. And the thing is, you know, when it's cooler, it's so much easier to work outside because, you know, like this summer, I just like, oh my gosh, I feel like old. And then when it cooled down, it's like I have so much energy. I'm like, no, I'm not just an old. It was just too hot. Anyway, so now I'm cleaning this. But yeah. So, yeah, so you know, I have a lot of stuff to put. I have some. Oh, actually, it's not too much, but I have a fair amount of stuff to put in the ground. So I can't wait to do that. And I haven't even started ordering bulbs yet. I think I want some Dutch irises, but I also want bearded irises in there. And you know what? I'm gonna go when I go to this place, I'm gonna see, because I think they've got a lot of different types of astilbe and yeah. This is potentially could be bad for my pocketbook. Okay, so guys, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys, so last night, here is where I dumped everything. I was just trying, because it was like dark outside. So yeah, oh, it's in the shade too. Oh, this is perfect. So yeah, so here are the bricks I'm gonna use. And actually, before I do that, I need to get my measuring wheel, because I need to measure where I'm putting the camellias. And so what I want to alternate the camellias with some magnolias. So first off, let me find my measuring wheel and let me do that first. Where did I put my measuring wheel? You know, guys, one of these days I'm gonna learn to put my stuff back where I get. Oh, there it is. I see it over there. So let me set the camera while I go do that. A mixture of camellia and magnolia. So with camellia, there are two types. There's Camellia japonica and Camellia sasanqua. This is the Camellia sasanqua. So the difference between the two is sasanqua blooms like fall to early winter, and japonica will bloom from like winter into spring. So this particular one is hardy to zone 6. It gets pretty tall. Well, not too tall, but it gets about 10 feet tall, 8 feet wide. It's a fairly slow grower. And so I am going to try to keep this in tree form. So basically, with the lower branches, I'll be, cutting them off, so that way it's not spreading. The base of it, at least, I don't want to spread too far into the other property. I just want the top to be that way. So it's supposed to be a fairly upright shrub. So I mean, obviously, it's probably was wide, so I think it's going to be really pretty. It blooms. It blooms a light pink. So I'm going to plant it where I have my stake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some bone meal into the hole. Now, I know I mentioned before that when it comes to planting, like in the fall, like at this time, I wouldn't be putting like a starter fertilizer. Like I know a lot of people follow Laura from Garden Answer and will put down like the biotone. I wouldn't do that. That's got a little too much nitrogen for this time of year. You want plants to start getting ready to go dormant, not gearing up to put out new growth. If you go into the stores now, a lot of times they have shrubs. They have, like slow release fertilizer in it. It's bad because the plant's still pushing new growth, and then we get a frost, and then it's really damaged. So I go with bone meal. Bone meal is just phosphorus only, and that's only for root development. So again, during this time of year, I have no problems whatsoever putting down bone meal in all your beds, because once again, it's going to help root growth, not green growth, and that's what you really need to do at this time of year. So anyway, this is in pretty decent shape. So it actually has some buds on it. So I might actually looks like I'm going to get some blooms this year, guys. So let me just dig my hole. I bought the Craftsman, they call it a garden multi-tool kit. It's an auger. The reason I got this one, as you know from the past video, is because it's got this locking pin mechanism, which I think is going to be a lot better for all the amount of planting I do, because I won't have to be constantly stopping to, stick the bit back in and screw it tight, because that's what I always do, and it gets a little irritating. So this is dedicated. So I'm gonna have to see if I can find some other auger bits that'll work with this entire pin locking system, because that will actually, I'll try Craftsman first. If not, I think a lot of the stuff is interchangeable, so I probably could go get some of the other bits by some of the other companies. They may work just as well. So let's give it a test, guys. Let's see how it goes. So one thing I noticed about the soil over here is that it's actually fairly loose and sandy, so good stuff. So this is the root ball. It's actually not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in. Actually, I need to put some bone meal in first. Thing, and it's already starting to leak. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go get some contractor paper, and put that down where I've got those bricks, because the bricks will hold it into place. And then I'll start arranging some of the rows. It's gonna be hard, a little hard to tell because, you know, I've got so much junk down here. But when I come back from Paxton Hill Farm, you know, I can start putting something around. So let me go get my contractor paper. Okay, guys, so I forgot to film putting the paper down. I need some more bumper string. I'm not leaving you, baby. So I used all the ones I have. I need to get some more so I can take it down. So with the roses, okay, so I have Lagerfeld, which is a light purple, and that gets about 5 by 5, and so does Blue Girl. So, oh, by the way, I put the 4 feet between these two because the thing is, like I said, I'm going to keep it, you know, clipped back at the base. So it's probably going to look more like, let's see that magnolia tree right there? Let me zoom in on it. See how the base of that magnolia tree is, you know, at the bottom. So it's not going to take up quite that much space in the, it won't take up quite that much space. So I'm putting these two back here. Actually, you know, this one is not lined up. Let's see how we're looking now. There we go. Okay, good. And so I have Plum Perfect. And so I thought I was getting 4 of those. I thought I had 3 more in order, but now that I think about it, I only have 2 more. So what I'm going to do is I'm also in the spring, or actually in December, I'm going to order this one rose called Poseidon, and it's saying it gets 3 by 3. So think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like that Plum Perfection is going to be in the middle. There's going to be a Poseidon and then another Sunbelt, and then basically a Poseidon and a Sunbelt over there. And you know, guys, this space I think looks deceptively large for a couple of reasons. Because number one, I'm using the fisheye lens, but the other thing is that there's going to be a boxwood hedge here, and so that's going to be, I'm planting it tight, so it's going to be 2 by 2. So that's those stakes right there. That's where the hedge is going to be. So it's not quite as much space in here as you may be thinking. And then here, and I may move this down farther, a little bit farther, maybe. You know what? I think between there and there is definitely 6 feet. So I may be able to leave this one here. This is where I'm going to put the arbor rose. Probably actually a little bit farther back here. And then here, I got to fill in this space. So for right now, this is going to be the roses that I have. Actually, I do have Coco Loco, which I'm going to put in that other bed. And right now, I have some September Charm Japanese anemones. And I have 6 of those, so I'm going to kind of like fill that in here too. So let me go get that and put that in where I think I would like it to go. But first, I got to move these boxes out of the way. Because it's kind of you know, interrupting my my flow here. Okay, guys, so I think I'm gonna arrange them like this, 3 on each side. I'm gonna space them like 2 feet apart. I'll get my actual tape measure because I was just eyeballing it just now. Actually, you know what? That Sunbelt Plum Perfect needs to move over just a scooch. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get all these planted because this is pretty much where I want this, because these are the perennials. And then with whatever I find today, I'll just fill this section in. Because of course, you know me, I like multi-seasons of bloom, so I do have space around it to plant stuff. And you know what, until the boxwood hedge, you know, gets big enough, I'm gonna encroach a little, and I'll put like bulbs and that sort of thing, something that's easy to pop out and relocate once it starts kind of growing in. So let me just finish eyeballing this, and then I will get going on planting. Okay, so car backfired, the dog is upset, but so I just realized I can't plant the roses yet, because planting the roses, I gotta actually amend. Because with heirloom roses, they recommend that you actually dig like a 2 by 2 foot hole, and you amend it. I'm gonna amend it with some peat moss blend and compost and some bone meal. So I don't have time to do that right now, but I'll do that this evening. because it's going to be a fairly sizable hole. But I did some pilot holes. So I started the tail end of the Japanese anemones, let's see, about 30 inches and then 2 feet apart, because once this finishes, this is going to be a huge like drift right here. And then of course the roses, those roses will actually go in front, because the roses are actually shorter than the Japanese anemone. So I did my pilot holes, and I did these 3 on this side. So I'm gonna get them in the ground, because like that one right there, that one is suffering. As a matter of fact, when I get I gotta go get my liquid fertilizer. I'm gonna get that some liquid fertilizer, so that should help. Well, you know what? I'll give it some water now, and when I come back in this evening, because I think once it gets water, it'll perk up, and then I'll give it some liquid fertilizer, because you have to be careful with fertilizing stressed plants. But yeah, obviously they'll do much better once they get into the ground. So let me go ahead and finish this up, and then it'll be time to go in. Well, first off, I gotta take the pooch for a walk, and then it'll be time to go in and get ready for my daytime adventure. Alright guys, so I am walking the dog. I am so disgusted right now. So when I was putting that stuff in the ground, I discovered, much to my absolute astonishment, that the prior owners had landscape fabric. So not all of the grass, like on one section, there was landscape fabric. They put landscape fabric down, and then they freaking planted lawn on top of it. I don't understand what possessed them to do that. So when I was digging, like the auger kept getting stuck, so I grabbed a shovel, and then that's what I found when I was in the shovel. So I had to go get a pair of scissors, cut the stuff out, and they didn't even get like the good stuff. They got like the actual like fabric that was like ripping apart in my hands. And seriously, who does that? Like, who does that? Like, what is wrong with people? Do you understand? Like, I don't need people trying me like this today. You know? It's Labor Day weekend. I want to have myself a good time. You know, not be frustrated. So, like I said, I'm going to do the roses when I get back. And it's a good thing, too, because after finding that landscape fabric under there, digging the size hole that I need to get those roses in, that's going to be a pain. That's going to be a pain. So, I'm going to go and I'm going to, come on, Bubba Shoot, jump over there, jump, jump, jump. The hedge is kind of growing in, so he always has to jump over it. But yeah, so I was ready to smack somebody today, you know, but I had to remind myself, jail time ain't worth it. But yes, don't put landscape fabric down and then plant lawn on top of it, people. But you know, if you're watching my channel, you know that. You know, it's the people who don't watch my channel who do stupid stuff like that. So anyway, I'll catch up with you guys once I've gotten into the car.